Words to know. Choose 2 blue words. Use them in sentences. Few. There are only a few trees here. Night. The buds open in the day and close at night. Loudly. The bird sang loudly in the tree. Window. The big tree is very close to the window. Noise. I heard a noise in the garden. Story. He tells a story about planting trees. Shall. We shall pick apples today. World. My garden is the best place in the world. Read and comprehend. Story structure. The parts of a story work together. Characters are the people and animals. The setting is when and where a story takes place. Events make up the plot. The plot is often about a problem and how characters solve it. A story map can help you tell about the different parts. Characters, setting, plot. Analyze, evaluate. Tell how you think and feel about the story. Use the text evidence to tell why. Preview the topic, gardens. To make a garden grow, you start with seeds. You plant them in the soil. Then you take care of them. You make sure they have enough water and sunlight. Soon the seeds will start to grow. Tiny plants will pop up in the soil. They will get bigger. Soon you will have big plants with flowers or vegetables. Next, you will read a story about what happens when a character named Toad plants some seeds in the garden. Story structure. Tell about the character, setting, and events in the story. Genre. A fantasy is a story that could not happen in real life. Look for animals who talk and act like people, events that could not really happen. Meet the author and illustrator, Arnold Lobel. Arnold Lobel started drawing when he was a child. When he grew up, he wrote and illustrated almost 100 books for children. His books won many awards. Frog and Toad have even been in a Broadway musical. The Garden, from Frog and Toad Together, by Arnold Lobel. Essential question: what grows in a garden? Frog was in his garden. Toad came walking by. What a fine garden you have, Frog, he said. Yes, said Frog. It is very nice, but it was hard work. I wish I had a garden, said Toad. Here are some flower seeds. Plant them in the ground, said Frog, and soon you will have a garden. How soon? asked Toad. Quite soon, said Frog. Toad ran home. He planted the flower seeds. Now, seeds, said Toad, start growing. Toad walked up and down a few times. The seeds did not start to grow. Toad put his head close to the ground and said loudly, Now, seeds, start growing. Toad looked at the ground again. The seeds did not start to grow. Toad put his head very close to the ground and shouted, Now, seeds, start growing. Frog came running up the path. What is all this noise? He asked. My seeds will not grow, said Toad. You are shouting too much, said Frog. These poor seeds are afraid to grow. My seeds are afraid to grow? asked Toad. Analyze the text. Repetition. What words are repeated on these pages? Why? Of course, said Frog. Leave them alone for a few days. Let the sun shine on them. Let the rain fall on them. Soon your seeds will start to grow. That night, Toad looked out of his window. Drat, said Toad, my seeds have not started to grow. They must be afraid of the dark. Toad went out to his garden with some candles. I will read the seeds a story, said Toad. Then they will not be afraid. Toad read a long story to his seeds. Analyze the text. Story structure. What is Toad's problem? How is he trying to solve it? All the next day, Toad sang songs to his seeds. And all the next day, Toad read poems to his seeds. And all the next day, Toad played music for his seeds. Toad looked at the ground. The seeds still did not start to grow. What should I do? Cried Toad. These must be the most frightened seeds in the whole world. Then Toad felt very tired and he fell asleep. Toad, Toad, wake up, said Frog. Look at your garden. Toad looked at his garden. Little green plants were coming up out of the ground. At last, shouted Toad, my seeds have stopped being afraid to grow, and now you will have a nice garden too, said Frog. Yes, said Toad, but you were right, Frog. It was very hard work. Comprehension. How to analyze the text. Use these pages to learn about story structure and repetition. Then read the garden again. Story structure. Frog and Toad are the characters in the garden. What kind of place is the setting of this story? Does the story happen during the day, at night, or both? Think about the problem Toad has and how it is solved. Use a story map to write the text evidence about the characters. Characters, setting, plot. Repetition. Authors sometimes use the same words or some kind of event over and over in a story. This is called repetition. This can make the story fun to read. It can also help you understand what is important in the story. Look at page 24. What does Toad do over and over? Why do you think the author used the words all the next day more than once? Your turn. Return to the essential question. Turn and talk. What grows in a garden? Talk with a small group. Then talk about the problem Toad has when he tries to grow his garden. How is it solved? Use details from the text evidence to explain your ideas and feelings clearly. Classroom conversation. Talk about these questions with your class. 1. Describe what Toad does to get his seeds to grow. What really makes them grow? 2. How does Frog help Toad? 3. What would you plant in a garden? How would you take care of the garden? Write about reading. Response. Write a book report about the garden. Begin by telling the name of the story and what it is mainly about. Then tell what you like about. Give reasons why. Tell what you don't like and give reasons why. Writing tip. Be sure you write the word I with a capital letter. Genre. Informational text gives facts about a topic. Find facts about insects that help gardens in this selection. Labels are words that tell more about the pictures in a text. They can name parts of the picture or the whole picture. Look for labels. What information do they give? Garden Good Guys by Timothy Thomas. If you have a garden, you should know about bugs. Some bugs are pests that eat the plants. Other bugs eat the pests. They are the garden good guys. If you want a healthy garden, make sure you have ladybugs. Ladybugs eat tiny bugs that snack on garden plants. You may not think a praying mantis is as pretty as a ladybug, but it is a good garden friend. A praying mantis hunts and eats many garden pests. Ladybug, praying mantis. The big-eyed bug is tiny. Can you guess how it got its name? Big-eyed bugs eat bugs that harm vegetables. The dragonfly has a long, thin body, large eyes, and 2 sets of wings. Dragonflies are good for gardens and good for you too. They eat garden pests and mosquitoes. Big-eyed bug, dragonfly, wing. Compare texts. Text to text. Compare gardens. Think about the gardens in both selections. What helps each garden grow? Text to self. Connect to experiences. Think about how Toad cared for his garden. Write about something you have cared for. Text to world. Think and share. Tell a partner why people should help plants grow. Take turns speaking. Listen to each other. Grammar. Subject pronouns. Words that can take place of nouns are called pronouns. The pronouns he, she, and it name one. The pronouns we and they name more than one. Ben watered the tree. He watered the tree. The tree grew. It grew. Birds loved the tree. They loved the tree. Lily fed the birds. She fed the birds. Try this. Choose the correct pronoun to name each picture. Write it on a sheet of paper. Then say a sentence to a partner about each picture. Use the pronoun 1, she, he, 2, they, it, 3, it, we, 4, they, she, 5, we, he. Grammar in writing. When you proofread your writing, be sure you have used pronouns correctly. Narrative writing. Voice. Dialogue shows the exact words characters say. Nick wrote about what Frog and Toad did next in the story. Then she added words that told what they said. Revised draft. May I pick some flowers? Asked Frog. Toad said yes. Frog and Toad both wanted to pick flowers. Writing traits checklist. Voice. Did I write the exact words characters say? Did I use time order words to tell when events happen? Did I use pronouns correctly? Look for story events and the exact words Frog and Toad say in Nick's final copy. Then revise your own writing. Use the checklist. Final copy. Picking flowers. Frog really liked Toad's new garden. May I pick some flowers? Asked Frog. Toad said yes. Frog and Toad both wanted to pick flowers. First, they found a nice flower vase. Then they went outside and picked all kinds of flowers. Frog, you are a good friend. Thank you for helping me grow my flowers, said Toad.